I'm Anita Hall. I graduated here in 1978, so I guess I'm among a couple peers here. I started immediately working at General Mills, and I've been there ever since.
I'm Carissa Horrible. I'm a junior in food engineering.
Let's start out, Professor Ramaswamy. Tell us first the difference between food engineering and food science. And then talk a little bit about where nanobiotechnology plays into this.
All right. So the best way I can explain this difference, I was thinking about it, is that, it's like the difference between a chemist and an engineer. Okay, a chemist is someone who is actually synthesizing new chemistry in the lab, coming up with a new chemical, and they can do it in the lab scale, say a new formulation. The same way the food scientist can come up with a new formulation for developing, let's say, an improvement in yogurt. So what a food engineer does, and I think Rita can actually say a lot more about this, is essentially to take this idea and then implement it on a larger scale. Make it actually function, make it work, and solve all the technical problems, that goes from being from the lab to a commercial. So you get the yogurt in your store.
And tell us about nanobiotechnology and what that means to our food.
Okay, this is actually an emerging field. You might have heard a lot about nanotechnology, which basically means very small scale. And one of the applications of nanotechnology that we are working on, one of our faculty, Dr. Abbas, is working on, is actually, for example, one is looking at developing smart packaging. So using nanotechnology in food packaging in a way that you can actually know about the quality of the food which is inside the packaging without having to open. Okay, so for example, a milk container, which is what the quality of the milk is. If it's bad, then you would know without having to taste it. The second is looking at detecting pathogens. Say, for example, you want to buy meat, and you don't want to buy a meat which has been, contaminated with microorganisms. So this nanotechnology can be used essentially to assess the quality and the contamination of the food, before you actually have to try it out and then get sick.
Chris, give us 2 examples of experiences you've had since being a student in our food engineering program.
Okay, so 2 examples. I'll talk about my internships and the student groups that I'm involved in. So for internships, the summer after my sophomore year, I worked at a place called Great Number Baking Company, and I was really excited because we made cookies and muffins and stuff. And I didn't know anything about quality going into it. I hardly even knew about engineering because I was only a sophomore, so I'd only taken the introduction classes. Got a lot of experience there. It was a really good opportunity. It looked really good on my resume. Apparently, because the next summer, spring semester, Cargill offered me a co-op in Ohio. So I took a semester off of school and I went out to Cargill in Ohio, and it was a sauce plant. So I got to use some of my fluid mechanics knowledge that I learned about stuff flowing through pipes and everything out there in the plant. It was actually mayonnaise, which one of our professors likes to use as an example sometimes. So, yeah, he would always give us examples like, if mayonnaise flows through a pipe at this speed, and I was like, I'm never going to need to know that. And then, there I am working in a mayonnaise plant, I guess. And it was really interesting. I got a lot of experience. I got to network with a lot of other engineers. And I'm actually going to go back and work for them again this summer, but at a different plant in Iowa. And this is going to be it's a corn milling facility. And the main thing that we're going to be making is ethanol, which is really cool because a lot of the stuff that we learn in our classes in BBE have to do with that. We learn a lot about, we learned about corn milling in our introduction to design. We learned, my project was about ethanol. It was an ethanol plant. So now I actually get to go work at one that I just spent a lot of time learning about. So that's really exciting. And so student groups that I'm in, I'm really involved in the Society of Women Engineers, and I see a lot of females in here, and I don't know if you guys are interested in engineering. But if you are, I definitely recommend that you come to a SWE meeting because I've made a lot of my best friends there. A ton of networking, I've gone to conferences. There's just so much you can benefit from being in SWE. So those are 2 experiences I've had.
They take guys too.
They do take guys. Guys can join. We have free pizza.
It's a good organization for guys to join.
Which brings up an interesting point. Our engineering program is 49% female. The college average is only 23. Ours is 49. So finally, Ms. Hall, Minnesota is full of opportunities for the graduates who work in the food industry. Tell us about your experience.
Well, I've had my entire career has been at General Mills, but I've also worked through General Mills in a bunch of different places. But let me tell you about General Mills. Because when I first actually started as a food engineer, I had no idea, like you, what a food engineer did. I was attracted into the food industry mostly because when I went to school a long time ago, the Vietnam War was still going on, and I didn't want to be involved in war stuff, so food seemed really benign and safe to me. When I got there, though, I mean, I've worked there, seriously, I've worked there almost 40 years now, and it's just so interesting. I am able to work with so many different kinds of people. I mean, I work with the cardboard and corrugated people, because everything that we do goes into, corrugated and packaging. I work with the food scientists. I'm working right now with a guy who got his PhD on extracting sulforaphane from broccoli. I mean, just like real detailed stuff. So it's so amazing what food companies are working on. General Mills, all you guys know of all of our brands. There's a zillion of them. I mean, I've worked on Yoplait, I'm working on pizza right now, I've worked on vegetables and cereal. The breadth of food processing experience is just phenomenal. I never thought that I'm closer to 40 years now, even than 35, that I'd be able to say that all of my projects have been exciting. I'm disappointed when they're over, because I'm like, oh, there'll never be another one this good. And then another one comes along. So food is very dynamic. It's certainly, when you were introducing things, I was really glad that you brought up the National Academies, because feeding the growing population of the world is a very top issue, as is the clean water. And General Mills, I'm also proud to say, works on an effort in Africa where we're trying to help small businesses, very small businesses in Africa, learn how to process food. A lot of countries who are starving and going through famines is because they don't know how to process their food to save it. They can grow enough, but a lot of it rots. And we are trying to help these folks by teaching them how to start with their own small food manufacturing. And that is so fun and so rewarding to work on.